So, like all of you guys, I have a lot of things that I want to get done this year, but sometimes not all of it is the most cinematic or interesting. A lot of it's just the unsexy day-to-day stuff like timed figure drawings and just figuring out where exactly a scene best fits somewhere within an overall story. And instead of meandering through a process that I don't even like really orating, I figured I would still give you guys some value by sharing 5 business tips that Jesus has given me over the years. I have used, applied, and constantly remind myself to do these things so I can tell you with full confidence that they actually work. So please enjoy my vlog-like visuals of whatever footage I've chosen while I get into these tips. Tip number 1. How you build the business is how you run it. I've seen countless videos from business owners saying that they need to take a step back from the business because they are so burnt out from the entire process. And the reasons are really across the board. And in viewing these videos, it used to leave me with so much confusion and anxiety and concern for building my own business. But then the Lord unveiled onto me that the common denominator between all of these different stories is that they ended up building the business on hustle, and then they felt as though they had to maintain it through hustle. What do I mean by that? They mentioned that they would skip lunch, they wouldn't go and hang out with their friends or family. They ended up essentially isolating themselves in order to complete their work. And yes, they found success in it, but there was not enough balance. I have a background in neuroscience, and the human brain loves patterns. These business owners unfortunately created a pattern in their minds that in order to be successful, they have to hustle and grind and never do anything fun or beneficial for themselves. And that is a one-way ticket straight into burnout. Now, what are the solutions? The Lord gave me a few. Prioritize rest and pace yourself. A lot of these things are marathons, not sprints. And one that I struggle with personally: don't reward your work that got completed with more work to complete. When you've completed all of your tasks, you're done for the day. Go and reward yourself. And have a proper reward system. In the beginning of your financial journey, nothing can guarantee you as high of an ROI or return on investment as you can. When I first started learning how to make money online and how to really gain financial independence, I went the route of investment strategies. I figured I could invest my way into wealth. And in a lot of ways you can, but some of the best investment strategies out there typically max out at around 8% of your initial investment in earnings. So that means if you invest only $100 because that's all you have to invest, you're only going to have $108 by the end of it. One day, Jesus showed me if you were to take that same $100 and invest it toward a skill or creating a product, and then you were to start selling that thing, do you really think you would only make $8 a year? And it's that example that woke me up and made me realize, hey, I could bring in more than $8 a year. I definitely need to be creating some type of product or have some other strategy beyond just purely investing. Investing is great, but maybe not when you don't have a high enough capital to invest a significant amount. Tip number 3, go into business where your day-to-day reflects what you love to do. Like most people born in the 90s and prior, I only really had job titles in my head as possible career options. And it wasn't until the Lord sat me down and really said, hey, the title doesn't really matter so much as the actual thing that you're doing every day and whether or not you actually enjoy that. And it made sense. Think about if you had 2 different hairstylists. One hairstylist only has a set of basic cuts and styles that they offer. And if you were to show them a picture of a celebrity on the red carpet and say, I want you to make my hair look just like this photo, they might be like, I don't really know. That's kind of out of my area of expertise. I really just offer these styles and cuts. Now, the second hairstylist is completely different. They offer and do everything. For them, the sky's the limit. You could walk in there and show them a picture of a cartoon character and say you want your hair exactly like that, and they'll do it. Even if it's not in their area of expertise, they'll give you a modest version of that, and then they'll be practicing all throughout that entire month. And by the time your 6-week touch-up is ready, they'll be able to give you an exact replica. Now, outside of the obvious differences, how do these two hairstylists differ on a deeper level? Well, there's nothing wrong with the first hairstylist. They're making an honest living, but they are treating their job kind of like a paycheck. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can definitely do that. And they'll have business and they can be successful in their own right. But the second stylist is intrinsically motivated to work on hair. This stylist will be happy and giddy to be able to learn a new balayage technique that takes 5 hours to learn right after a full work shift and closing down the hair salon. When you're intrinsically motivated by your work, you will spend extra time outside of your standard work hours just learning and amassing more and more knowledge. You become a forever student to whatever subject or skill is your work. While the first stylist can have a successful business, the second stylist is a lot more likely to have more clients and grander opportunities due to their versatility and cumulative knowledge. Tip number 4, utilize other people's infrastructure. When I first started social media, I thought that I would just do everything on my own and never have to pay for courses or services. What I did not account for was all of the time spent analyzing algorithmic activity, analyzing data, watching tips and tricks videos, reading and staying updated on the terms of service, guidelines, learning content funnels, analyzing audience patterns, growth retention, trends, and everything else that goes into social media across several platforms that are always changing. After so many frustrated evenings, Jesus reminded me, hey, you don't have to do all of this alone. There are other people who want to spend their time doing all of these things, and you can just pay them or consume the content that they offer for free. So in order to save my time, energy, and sanity, I just consume the free content to get as much information as I need in the current moment, and then as time goes on, I will just pay someone to go ahead and do these things. Tip number 5, in order to make good products, you have to 1, be your own customer, and 2, solve the customer's problems. At one point, I was learning HTML, CSS, in order to learn JavaScript, in order to learn Node.js, so that I could finally learn React and React Native, just to make an animated Pomodoro timer that synced with your Spotify playlist, only to realize after several evenings of frustration and headaches and feeling like I need to just smoke a cigarette even though I don't smoke, that I don't even like or use Pomodoro timers. So why am I going through all of this headache and hassle just to learn all of this code so that I can convince people to purchase it when I won't even use it? Then God showed me I am my own customer. I need to start selling to me, and in order to sell to me, I need to solve my own problems. So how have I been solving my own problems? Those are then going to become my products. I felt like I had a lot of things that I needed to balance, and not everything was getting proper attention on the correct timelines, so I created a gamified Notion template that helped me to stay organized and motivated along intense and tedious projects. My other problem? Along my writing process, I have all of this knowledge in my head about how to craft stories and how characters and world building and everything else all comes together to a completed final story. but all of it is disorganized and jumbled inside of my head, and it was coming out in the worst possible ways, and I felt very scatterbrained and all over the place just trying to write one thing. My solution? I created the Artist's Guide to Writing. I paired my art narrative storytelling knowledge with my writing narrative storytelling knowledge and got all of the information out of my head. That way, if I ever need to go back to it and figure out how exactly subplots work, I can go right to a certain page in the guide and remember, and then everything is organized in a specific chronological flow of how I write from start to finish. It has the workbook exercises baked in, and it goes over all of the different artists and writers block exercises that I use consistently anytime that I come up on any kind of block. These are things that I created to solve my own issues, but I can also package them as products to solve my audience's issues. Rather than wasting time and energy creating products that wouldn't sell well, because they wouldn't be solving my issues or your issues, because they were created in order to fluff out a product suite, rather than trying to solve real problems. And when I talk to you guys about these products that I offer, I can actually speak from a place of integrity because they've helped me. So they'll probably help you as well if you're dealing with the same types of issues. Those are all of the tips that I have for you today. Thanks again for watching. If you're interested in either the Artist's Guide to Writing or my Gamified Notion template, both will be linked below. And if you're unsure about the Artist's Guide to Writing, you can check out a free sample to see if that'll actually help you. That will be linked below also. And be sure to tune in next Monday because I will be reviving the Gouache Diaries series. See you next time. Bye!